When one wave moves, thousands of waves follow. You know, that's something that's so powerful with our meditation practice, that, you know, those changes that are rising from within us, they go outward, right? And they affect not only us, but those in our lives. And so just feeling that and recognizing that in our practice today, even that as we ground down into our sits bones, that the grounding that we're experiencing is going to ripple and impact others. So perhaps tuning into that collective consciousness. Feeling ourselves grounding into our space. And perhaps on our in-breath, we can layer on the mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. And exhale, Om Namah Shivaya. Inhaling, just hearing that within us, Om Namah Shivaya. Exhale, Om Namah Shivaya. The mantra for supreme consciousness. Just filling our entire being. Om Namah Shivaya. Now let's bring our hands to our heart center. And let's create a wave with the mantra Om. Perhaps chanting it out loud if that's comfortable, if that feels right, or just saying it to yourself and just hearing it. We'll exhale and inhale. Exhale. And we'll let our hands maybe come to our lap or to our side. Let's just move our neck around. Be pausing anywhere along the way. Pausing with the chin to the chest, maybe the chin towards the shoulder, but feeling ourselves arriving even more physically into our space. And as we move our neck around, perhaps noticing how the lower body that's connected to the earth, how it maybe shifts or changes. And let's bring our ears over the shoulders, our shoulders over the hips. We roll those shoulders up, back, and down just a couple times. Maybe wiggle or any movements that feel right. Grounding those sits bones and bring the hands out to the side. And then maybe tenting those fingers on the earth. And then spider crawl that right hand out to the side. And when you can't move it anymore, just lean that ear over to the left. Maybe bring the left hand to the top of the head, not pulling on the head, but just resting the hand on the head. Maybe opening up or feeling a sensation in the side of that neck on the right. Maybe dropping the head back a little, keeping that hand resting there. And now release that left hand from the side of the head, bring the head back to the middle. Place the left hand on the ground, and then release that right hand. You shake out the shoulders, shake out the arms. And then ground those hands again, fingertips on the earth. Walk the left hand out to the side, kind of spider crawling out. Bring the left ear to the left shoulder. And if you want, or bring the right ear to the right shoulder, then the right hand to the side of that right head. Again, not pressing down, but just giving that hand a rest there And letting just the weight of the hand and gravity perhaps lengthen the side of the neck. And then we'll breathe. And release the right hand back to the earth. Bring the head over the shoulders, shoulders under the ears. Release any spider fingers in the left hand. Bring the hands to the floor, to the knees. And we'll roll that neck out. Maybe just bring semicircles of chin, going from one shoulder across the chest to the other. And then from here, let's move into some seated cat-cows. So again, grabbing those sits bones and maybe just noticing which leg is in front. If the right leg is in front, the right shin, or the left, because we'll switch partway through. So let's bring that curve into the low back, bring the head back, lifting the chest to the sky. And then rounding the shoulders forward, dipping the chin of the chest, rounding the back. Then another time, do that again. And then one more time, chin to the chest. And then shoulders over the hips, and we'll switch which foot is in front. So my right shin was in front, so I'm gonna bring the right foot close and the left foot in front. And now just readjust that sensation with the opposite leg in front. And let's do a couple cat-cows. Maybe dropping the head back, chin to the chest. Inhale, lifting the heart, really nice. Exhale, dipping that chin. And then with that chin to the chest, come up just slightly, but keep that chin down. And then lead that heart forward. And let's go in a couple of circles, maybe all the way around from the front to the back. And then pause when you get that chest to the front. Ground the sits bones if they kind of lifted. And let's walk our hands over to the right. So maybe the elbows frame that knee and then drop the chin to the chest again. You can press the hands into the floor if you want, or maybe you come down to the spider fingers. Breathe in. And let's exhale to walk our hands to the middle. And then let's bring our hands towards that foot, towards the shin. Sit up nice and tall and switch that arrangement of the feet again. So bringing maybe the opposite foot in front. And then dipping that chin to the chest, walk the hands forward. And then we'll walk the hands over to the left, the elbows framing that left knee. And breathe into this shape. Just breathing and being. Another breath. Now exhale, bring those fingers to the middle. And let's rock up onto our knees, coming into a tabletop. And in your tabletop, kind of giving ourselves any movements that might feel nice. Maybe we're gonna bring a blanket underneath our knees. Or double roll your mat. And then let's get situated, kneading together in a tabletop here. And then from this tabletop, let's extend that right leg back. Bring it in line with that ankle, in line with the hip. Feel yourself nice and strong. And then bend that knee so the foot is parallel with the sky. And let's just bring that foot to the ceiling as if you're leaving a footprint on the sky. Feel like maybe the hamstring or the glute engage. And then bring that right knee all the way through, sweeping across the floor to the knee. And then bring that foot all the way to the sky again. Maybe we find kind of a cow back as we lift the head. And then we'll exhale kind of a cow back, bring the knee to the elbow. We'll do that 2 more times at your own breath. A cow back as the foot kicks to the sky. Cat back as you bring the knee to the elbow. And after you bring that knee to the elbow again, bring that right knee to the floor. Let's bring our knees mat distance apart. Sit back in a child's pose and bring those hands far, far, far in front. Maybe you find spider fingers. Maybe you bring the palms and the forearms down. Feeling yourself settle. Letting yourself be exactly where you are. Exhale. Let's inhale to come back into our tabletop. You're welcome to stay in your child's pose for a couple more breaths. And then when you're ready, let's send that left leg out, the ankle in line with that hip, knee in line with the hip. Get it nice and strong with the hands and that knee. And then bend the left knee so the foot is parallel to the sky. And as if you were going to bring a footprint to the sky, bring that left foot up. And then we'll exhale, bring the knee to the elbow, and we'll find a cat back. A cow back as we kick the left foot to the sky, dropping the belly, lifting the heart. Yep, and go a couple more times, your own pace. Maybe 3, maybe 2, maybe 4, depending on how quickly you're moving. But moving with mindfulness. Now the next time you bring that knee to the elbow, pause for an inhale. And then we'll exhale to lower the knee down, bring the knees mat distance apart. And this time lower that forehead down in our child's pose, but bring the hands behind you if you want. And lift those, interlace the hands and lift those palms to the sky. Or maybe you just let those hands rest on the low back, kind of on the base of that spine, on the buns. Just kind of giving our brain a different arrangement of the body here. Another breath in, and then a breath out. Let's exhale to plant our hands in front, and then lift the chest. Come into kind of a tabletop, but then let's sit back, curl the toes under, and sit back onto the balls of our feet. You can place the hands on the floor if you want, or you can, I'll move a little bit so you can see if they're staying. Feel the toes, ground. You can come into a prayer position. Finding that balance. Or you can bring those hands down. Be here for a couple of breaths. Breathing in and out. And then we'll exhale, bring those hands to the floor, bring the knees to the ground, let the feet, tops of the feet come to the earth. And then let's make our way onto our stomachs. Legs coming long behind us, tops of the feet to the floor, belly, chest to the ground. And let's interlace our hands behind us and kind of rest them on that low back, on the base of that spine, on the buns. It's kind of like what we did in our child's pose. Bring those feet as far apart as you want, maybe mat distance, maybe hip width distance. Let's inhale, activate the low back, lifting the chest off the ground as high as you want. You can make it as much effort as you want. And then maybe you lift those hands off the back, with the arms off the back, and reach those hands towards the heels. And then notice maybe the chest lifts a little higher. You may feel different parts of the body engaging. Or a variation of our locust pose. Feel the shoulders open. And then we'll exhale to lower everything down. You can just let the arms come to the side, rest the cheek on the mat. Give yourself an inhale. And an exhale, let's bring the gaze back towards the floor. Interlace the hands. Maybe the opposite thumb is on top this time. Pull those hands towards the heels to start this movement this time. And notice that the low back is active, the chest lifts. Maybe you bring the right leg off the ground and the left leg. Point the toes and reach the toes back. Reach those knuckles towards the heels. Yeah, so exhale, lower the legs, lower the tops of the feet. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Let's press up. Send the hips back, walk the hands forward, and find a puppy pose, letting those sits bones reach for the sky, the palms reach down. That spine lengthening. We're creating a pumping action in that low back to get the spinal fluids moving when we compress the back, and now we're lengthening. So those are the physical benefits of these shapes. Let's breathe in. And now exhale, plant the hands underneath the shoulders. Let's curl the toes under and find a downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Maybe the heels come to the ground. Plant the palms. You can bring the hands and the feet as far away as you want. You can bring them as close as you want. But finding presence here. Knowing that what we're doing on the mat today, it's affecting us inwardly and also those around us. Let's breathe in. Let's exhale, bend that right knee, and then plant that foot on the sky again. You can keep the knee bent. Kind of place the footprint on the ceiling. And let's rock forward. Keep the right leg lifted. Rock into plank pose. And then bring that right knee to the elbow. And then we'll bring it back to downward facing dog. Keep the right foot to the sky. Yep, we'll do that one more time. Inhale to plank. Knee comes to the elbow. And now send that right leg back. So now we're in plank pose. Lower down the knees, tops of the feet. Now bend the elbows, lower the chest and the chin. Lift the heart. Maybe hover the hands, find baby cobra. Compressing that low back, lifting the heart. Let's interlace the hands behind the back. Pull those knuckles towards the heels. And here we are in our locust pose. Breathe in. Exhale, lower down the chest, bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Press up and back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lengthen that spine. Ground the breath into your body. Thank you guys so much for all you're giving to yourself here. And we can give to our community with our breath and with our practice, the effects of all this movement and conscious awareness. Let's inhale up to plank. Pause here just for a breath, and then we'll exhale to downward facing dog. Bend that left leg and stomp that left foot on the sky. And now we'll inhale up to plank, keep that leg bent, and bring that knee to the elbow. And then back to downward facing dog. Left foot stomps the sky. Exhale, knee to elbow. Pause in your plank. Really nice. And then inhale, step the left foot back. Here we're in plank pose. Exhale, lower down the knees, the tops of the feet. The chin and the chest come down. Inhale, lifting the heart. Let's hover the hands and find ourselves in baby cobra, breathing in and out. Yes. And now this time, let's extend our arms forward instead of back. So reach those fingertips as far forward as you can. Let the heart hover. Notice that you're not scrunching the shoulders into the ears. Now, if you want, maybe lift the right leg off the ground and then the left. So your palms and the tops of your feet are hovering over the ground as if you were soaring to the sky. Breathing in and letting the breath go. Maybe you bend those knees so the feet stomp the sky. And then maybe you sweep those hands back and reach the fingertips past those knees as if you're reaching to the back of the mat. Breathe in. Exhale, lower down the tops of the thighs. Lengthen the legs. Interlace the hands. And now pull those knuckles towards the heels and lift the heart. Breathe in. Exhale, let's plant the hands underneath the shoulders and then bring ourselves into an extended child's pose or a puppy pose, but lengthen that spine. Maybe you find a downward facing dog. However you want to lengthen that spine, bring it into your space and allow your heart to settle. Maybe you bring the breath the same rate as your heart. Maybe that's quick, maybe that's slow. Bringing awareness to the two. And then let go of that effort. Inhale to glance up with the hands. Now rock into tabletop. And then from tabletop, let's step that right foot forward, curl the toes of that left foot under, lift the left knee, and now bring the hands on the inside of the right foot, bring the right foot out to the side of the mat. Let's come into a variation of lizard. Keep that left leg lifted, left hand comes down. Let's just turn the body towards that right knee and drop the right knee out to the side. So the left leg is lifted, so that's active in that left leg. Let the right knee drop out. Maybe notice those hip flexors, kind of twisting if you want a little bit, or keeping the heart down, but letting that right hand urge that right knee to the side. And let's mindfully plant that right foot, keep the left foot grounded, bring the right hand down next to the left hand. Step the right foot back, let's come into side plank, over to the left. So that left hand plants, and reach the right arm to sky. Maybe we bring that right foot in front for a kickstand. Maybe if you bring that right foot in front and press that right foot down, you notice that outer hip and outer glute activate. So your left leg can be long, the right foot's in front, or both legs are long. So wherever you find yourself, be there. And let's lower down that right hand. Bring the right foot long, bring the knees down to the floor. Let's sit back in a child's pose or puppy pose and exhale. Reaching the hands forward, reaching those sits bones back. And I will inhale, kind of coming into tabletop, ground the knees, step that left foot forward. Curl the toes of the right foot under, lift the right knee up. Bring the left hand on the inside of the left foot. So left hand on the inside of the left foot. Walk that left foot to the side of the mat and drop that knee open. Plant the right hand. Maybe you bring the left hand to the knee. Drop that knee out. And you know, if it feels better, you can lower that right leg, but there's an option to keep it lifted. A little more active if it's lifted, but it's the same effect on that left hip if it's lowered. Another breath in. Another breath in. And now exhale, lower the foot down. Plant the left hand on the inside of the foot. Ground the right hand. Step the left foot back and then come into your side plank on the other side, that right side. So maybe both legs are long. Maybe that left foot is planted. And as you press that left foot down, you might feel that outer glute. Nice job. Yeah. Another breath. And now exhale, bring the left hand down. Kind of pivot that left foot forward towards the left, point towards the left wrist. Pivot on the feet, bring the left foot back, and then find your downward facing dog, or your puppy, or your child's pose. You just want to lengthen the side body and the back. And all of those shapes will provide that opening for us. So finding what you want. Another breath. Another breath. And then when you're ready, if you're in child pose or puppy pose, just lift those hips. Come into downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, let's step the right foot forward between the hands. Yep, and then the left foot to meet it. Let's hang in our Uttanasana. And be feeling those toes on the ground by lifting them up and down, grabbing opposite elbows and swaying side to side. Noticing where in the body you're feeling any sensations. Just observing. And then let's bring our heart parallel with the thighs, find some stillness. Let go of the hands, maybe interlace the hands behind the back and pull those hands to the sky, those knuckles reaching for the ceiling. Maybe you kind of sway the hands side to side, kind of moving into the left and over to the right. Getting a little bit of movement in that spine with our forward fold. And now really slowly, because we've been hanging upside down a little bit, Let's gently come to stand. We'll bend the knees, let go of those palms. Maybe the hands sweep beside the legs and reach up for the sky. And then let's bring the hands to the side body and let ourselves stand nice and tall together for the first time in class. Nice. Breathing in and out. And breathe in. Now exhale, grounding the feet. Noticing the spot underneath that big toe knuckle and beneath the pinky toe knuckle and then the heel. Let's rock onto the toes, lifting the heels off the ground. And then rock back to the heels, lifting the toes off the ground and then forward. And it might feel really wobbly. Maybe you find support on the wall. But just coming under the heels, into the feet, feeling ourselves and our bodies. And now bring those feet flat to the ground. Ground that left foot. Let's come on to the toe with our right foot, setting up for our tree as we bring the right knee out to the side. Maybe that right foot comes to the calf or to the thigh. You can bring the hands to prayer. Maybe the hands are in cactus or dragon wings if you're feeling mythical. Maybe you rock onto the ball of the foot, lifting that heel. It might be super tricky, but shift the weight to the heel. You don't have to lift the ball of the foot off, but shift the weight back. And just feel that weight shifting forward and back as you consciously shift that weight forward and back. And now let's exhale to bring that knee forward. Keep that foot lifted. Let's bring our hands to the shins. Draw the draw the knee into the chest. And then let's extend that leg long. So extending the leg forward, you can interlace the hands underneath that thigh. Maybe you bring your hands to the shin or to the foot. Let's extend the leg long, flex the foot to the face. Maybe we bend that left knee just a little and kind of squat down just a smidge. And let's come nice and tall on that left leg again. And then bend that knee and then lower the right foot down. Maybe you sway side to side. Grounding into both feet again. Let's rock forward into the ball of the foot. Back onto the heel. Really ground into the earth. And then when you're ready, grounding the right foot. Bending the left knee and opening that knee out to the side. And then when you're ready, come into your expression tree. And then if you want, you can rock onto the front of the foot, onto the back. Feeling that steadiness from within. Super helpful to find a gazing point, something that's not moving. It's called our drishti. Just like in meditation, we can keep our mind focused on one thing. When we are in a balancing pose, we can do the same. You might notice in balancing poses, if your mind starts to wander, your balance starts to wobble. One more breath. Exhale to ground the right foot. Now bring that left knee in to the middle. Extend that leg long. Interlace the hands onto the shin. Draw the chin. Draw the chin. I keep saying chin. You can bring the chin to the chest or bring that thigh to the chest. Kind of our standing wind releasing pose. When you're ready, extend the leg long. Interlace the hands behind the thigh or maybe the calf. Maybe we bend that right knee and start to lower just a smidge. And then when you're ready, Stand tall, extending through that right leg nice and long. And now ground the left foot. And release the hands. Maybe sway side to side. Maybe sway front to back. And now with control and with mindfulness, let's ground the right foot. Bring hands to the hips, or maybe hands come behind the head, or maybe above the head in prayer. Step our left foot back and into our high lunge. And then lower that heel down. So maybe the toes point outward. Ground into that front leg, bending that knee. Now tuck that pelvis and see what happens to the side body and that low back as you tuck the pelvis. And now let's exhale to interlace the hands behind the back again. Now reach those knuckles towards that left heel, towards the back of the mat. And now tilt the pelvis. And then we'll bow forward, coming into humble warrior. Maybe the shoulder on the inside of that right knee. Breathe in. Reach those hands to the sky if that feels good, or reach them back. Maybe even rest them on the low back. Breathe in. And out from here, let another breath out, maybe an audible exhale. Inhale. Now stay folded, stay bowed, release those hands, let them kind of come out to the side. And then sweep them onto the inside of that right foot. So both hands on the inside of the foot. Come onto the ball of that left foot. Now walk that right foot out to the side. And here we are in our lizard pose again. Drop the right knee out. Maybe you walk the hands forward in front of the foot. Maybe you come onto the forearms. You can lower the left knee down. But find an expression of lizard. Uttanapistahasana. Any expression will do. Inhale. Now exhale, plant the foot. Maybe bring that foot in a little closer than it was just a second ago. Maybe the right hand even comes onto the right side of the foot. Now from here, let's step back to downward facing dog. You can bring the heels to the floor. I let them hover. Bend the knees, drop the knees down and up. Let the breath go. Let the back settle. Inhale, step that left foot forward. And the ball of the right foot, ground the foot. And then pivot that right heel down. Let's rise up into our lunge. Any variation with the arm. Grounding the foot. Maybe even experimenting with lifting the heel off the ground and lowering, lifting the ball of the foot. And then lowering and grounding into the feet. Let's tuck the pelvis. Now interlace the hands behind the back. Maybe the opposite way than before. Reaching those knuckles towards the right heel, towards the back. And now tilt that pelvis as we proceed to fold and bow on the inside of that left leg. Namaste Virabhadrasana. Really nice, guys. Breathe in. Another breath in. Keep the legs and the chest where they are. Release those hands gently. Don't let them flop out, but with control, kind of guide those hands to the side. And then exhale to plant them on the inside of that left foot. Walk the left foot out to the side. Come onto the ball of that right foot. Maybe you move that foot back and then drop into your lizard. Letting that knee come out as wide as it needs to be. The hands on the inside of the foot. The right leg can be lifted or you can lower that knee down. But here's our lizard pose again. Really nice. Let's exhale to plant the left foot. Let's lower the right knee down this time. Sweep that left knee back so the knees maybe meet. And bring them mat distance apart and sink down to our child's pose. And exhale, letting those hips are still open, but letting it be a little less effort than a lizard. Another breath in and out. And now let's lower down the elbows, lift those hips up, and then make our way onto our backs together. And in that spirit of our feet stomping the sky, let's find a happy baby. Opening up those hips as our hands come to the shins or to the feet. And that weight of the hands kind of draws those knees down. Maybe closing the eyes, finding a gentle sway. And without rush, offering any shape that's going to benefit this practice of yours. Make your way to Shavasana. And perhaps as you come onto your back for your final resting pose, it's opening that space into one of gratitude. Maybe bringing to mind someone that you're close to that also benefits from your practice. And perhaps share this space with their spirit right now. Maybe inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 6. For as long as you need. If you are having a wandering mind today, you can bring your mind to focus on your breath. Not scolding the mind for thinking, giving it another task that you are directing the mind isn't directing you. Now beginning our transition to sitting upright for some pranayama. Just inhale and exhale. Maybe inhaling Om Namah Shivaya and exhale Om Namah Shivaya. Inhale Om Namah Shivaya. Exhale Om Namah Shivaya. And then as you're ready, just making your way to a seated position. And as we stack those shoulders over the hips and feel that spine stacking, also feeling that connection to Supreme Consciousness. Perhaps visualizing that universal consciousness just dropping in through the crown of the head, that Brahman's gate, down to the base of the spine. Feeling that connection to the divine. And then whatever your ratio is for your Nadi Shodhana, I invite you to bring your alternate nostril breathing into your space. And then I'll cue us to close after a few minutes. Next time you exhale out the left nostril, let's come to a seated position. And we'll chant 5 rounds, call and response if you'd like. Connecting to universal consciousness. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Namaste.